It's often been said that you are what you eat. I submit you are what you read. Stay tuned, you're going to like this one. It's pretty funny. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And I was inspired by a college student that came by to my door selling magazines. You know, they get points. It helped. You're all familiar with that person knocking on your door. Am I right on that? So I said, all right, well, let's take a look at the magazines that you have and let's see what you have. So let's take a look at some of these magazines and see if there's some that maybe you should be subscribing to, or maybe that you should be cutting your subscription to. The first one that they showed me was called The Game of Jones. Okay, sort of a takeoff on the Game of Thrones. Keeping up with the Joneses. You know, one of the things you're going to find in life when you get to the end, and for most of you, I'm closer to the end than you are, so okay. Anyway, one of the things you're going to find in life is you don't regret the things that you didn't buy. You regret the things that you didn't do. Keep that in mind. The game of Jones. Keeping up with the Joneses isn't all that critical. Here's one especially for me. I needed to buy this years and years ago. Good Spouse Keeping. Okay, I've had the big D after my name twice. Okay, that makes me double D, doesn't it? Well, anyway, I've had the big D after my name twice. Good Spouse Keeping is perhaps a magazine that I should have subscribed to. How about Yellow Brick Road Monthly? What am I talking about here? Well, a lot of people are under the misconception, and I'm speaking to you parents out there, that there's a yellow brick road that leads to the land of Oz. It starts with school, okay, and you follow the road until you get to Oz, and then when you get there, magically, you're going to have a brain, you're going to have a heart, you're going to have courage, and you're going to get home. Well, guess what? It ain't like that. There's going to be witches. There's going to be puppies that will put you to sleep. There's going to be all sorts of roadblocks that are going to prevent you from getting there if you follow that road. The road is not a smooth road. You have to meander off the road and learn certain things that they didn't teach you in school. As I recall, There's No Place Like Home was not something that they taught Dorothy in school. Am I right on that? All right. Yellow Brick Road. No, I don't think I'm going to subscribe to that particular publication. How about Hide and No Seek Illustrated? Too many of us, when called upon to do something, would rather, just like in school, the teacher asks a question and you look down, you look away, it's like, please don't call on me, please don't call on me. Hide and no seek. Well, that's something you learn in school, and too many people have that when they get to the real world. Hide and no seek. You've got, you live your life on a treadmill, you have this amount of stuff, and you're not dreaming anymore, you're not seeking anything outstanding, you're not trying for the gold. Too many people live a hide and no seek lifestyle, not subscribing to that. How about Snorker's Quarterly? Now there's a magazine that I want to subscribe to. Why? Because it enables you to keep your head above water most of the time and still look below the surface. Too many people don't look below the surface when they're looking for a job or they're looking for a mate. Pot calling kettle black. Just joking, numbers 1 and 2. All right. But my point is, you need to look below the surface. Okay. By the same token, they should look below the surface too. All right. Who marries me and doesn't want somebody with a good sense of humor? Wife number 1 does, I guess. Anyway, let's move on. How about MacGyver Weekly? You know that TV show MacGyver where he'll take like a paper clip and build an airplane out of it? Well, guess what? You need to have that type of a mindset, because most of the time you don't have the resources to reach that magnificent goal. You don't have those resources. So what do? You have to make the best of what you have. You have to figure out a way. So if you don't have money and you need money, then you need to find someone that believes what you believe, that has money, that's willing to partner up with you. There's, as one example. You follow what I'm saying? So the thing is, you don't say to yourself, well, I can't do that because, or it's not in the bylaws and we can't do. You've got to find out a way to get the job done. That's how achievers work. They are the MacGyvers of the world. I'll take a subscription to that. How about the daily buffet? And no, I'm not just talking about feeding my very face. In terms of the daily buffet, I'm talking about learning things from different perspectives. You don't have to, delve into everything in incredible detail. Like cryptocurrency is not something I know a little bit about, but I know about it. I know a little bit about it. Okay? I have some information. What does that do? It built when you have all these little bits of information. Now, I'm not saying make them your main focus, but spend a little time reading things that are not in your wheelhouse, because it adds information here. It adds fiber. It adds fiber so that when you are in a situation where you have a challenge and you go to sleep at night and you say, I need some help, I need a solution, that fiber can become part of the solution, because what the infinite mind will do is will take all of the things that you know and somehow connect the unconnected. And then you have an aha moment when you connect the unconnected. Make sense? In order to do that, you have to have some raw material in there. You have to have some fiber in there. Read different things, different subjects. How about cosmopolitan? No, not that one. I know that one exists. That's cosmopolitan. I'm talking about C-A-U-S-E, cosmopolitan. Finding your purpose. That is an essential element to people that are successful. News freak. No, not Newsweek. News freak. You know what? If you focus on the evening news, all the negativity, guess what happens? You become the people you hang around with. You become the people that you watch. You become the people that you read. Don't be a news freak. Keep your focus on the main thing. Is to keep the main thing the main thing. Keep your focus. I hardly ever watch the news. I'm aware a little bit, all right, but most of it I can't do anything about. If Putin wants to bomb Russia, I don't like it, but there's not a whole heck of a lot I can do about it. Sorry to say, does that make sense? So my focus is on what I can do. What I can do. Now, if the time comes when I can contribute to ending that awfulness, I will certainly contribute. Us Weekly. Okay, yeah, there's a magazine, Us Weekly, only it's spelled differently. They spell it W-E-E-K. I spell it W-E-A-K. There's strength in numbers. There's also weakness in numbers. Weakness in numbers. So if you do what everybody else is doing, nobody's really doing a lot of thinking. You're just following the crowd. Don't subscribe to Us Weekly, W-E-A-K-L-Y. Real Simple. A magazine about simplifying your life. Keep your focus on a small number of things, and when you do that, you're then in a position to excel in that small number of things. Scientific Un-American. Well, we had a president that was the publisher of that magazine. Okay, the point is, if you don't believe in science, there's a lameness to you. Okay, there's certain things that are proven in the laboratory. You've got to believe those things, and just the fact, it was right to wear masks. Wear masks. Okay, if we're safe, we don't need to wear masks. Okay, we don't. But the point is, clearly wearing masks helped us a great deal. One of the best proofs of that was the fact that we had virtually the lowest flu, people catching the flu last year almost in history. Why? Because people were wearing masks. It did the job. All right, now I'm not sitting here saying everybody should wear a mask all the time, but what I am saying is be smart, be prudent. Popular dramatics. Hello, my first wife. Okay, popular dramatics. Do you know people that like everything is a drama? They're a drama queen. I call Eli at times the drama child. Okay, make a big deal out of things. They're looking for things to get upset about. Popular dramatics. To me, it should be unpopular dramatics. Square peg. Okay, there's a magazine fitting a square peg in a round hole. Sometimes you have to figure out how, as we said earlier, connect things that are not presently connected. You know, when I think of Square Peg the magazine, I think of the movie Apollo 13 where they had to build a contraption to remove the carbon dioxide from one of the space vehicles because then the astronauts were running out of oxygen. But they had to put a square peg in a round hole, and they sort of did a MacGyver, right? That's the point. You got to take what you have, work with what you have, and be creative. And not say to yourself, I can't do this because, but rather ask the question, how can I get it done? Dad Magazine, as opposed to Mad Magazine. Yes, I've been compared to Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine many times, but Dad Magazine, one day I hope to be the centerfold, Eli, of Dad Magazine. I hope to be half, as far as I'm concerned, my dad was the centerfold. If I could be half the dad to you, Eli, that he was to me, I will consider myself a successful parent. Consumer retorts. Yes, a play on words from Consumer Reports. You know, having moved to Houston, I'm somebody, you probably never guessed this, that occasionally likes to go out to eat. And if I'm going out to eat, I'm learning the city. See, that's how I justify it. I'm learning the city by going out to eat, okay? And at the same time, I'm finding a new restaurant. But the point is, when I look up these restaurants on the internet, even if it's like 5-star, 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 there's always at least one person that says, oh, my experience was awful, it was dreadful, the customer service, or the food wasn't hot, or there's always one person. So you got to take, you know, the bad with the good, and you have to recognize that people have a certain bias towards things when things don't go their way. That's why Consumer Retorts is a magazine, don't think I'm going to get so much. How about instead of Red Book, you get Dread Book? Facing your fears as challenges. That you've got to change your mindset and change the word I'm fearful to I'm challenged, and accept the challenge, right? And not like make everything like that a dreaded thing to do. And here are two for, and like I said, I'm not flying into Ukraine right now. The closest I've come to Ukraine is playing the game of Risk, all right, with my sister. But here are a couple of magazines from Russia that we're going to end this with. Instead of Car and Driver, they have Czar and Survivor, and they have Bleeder's Digest. These are two magazines that hopefully the world will not subscribe to. All right, until we meet again. Hey, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.